Welcome back. In this episode, I think that I'm going to be ready to button this all up, okay, and put it in a nice cabinet and clean it all up and everything like that. Surprise! While we're here, I wanted to show you something that I thought was really impressive. You can cue the tape that tight and this thing just instant start. And for 1962, that's pretty impressive.
Desert the skies, fantastic in your arms. When we walk hand in hand.
So I'm confused. I've been trying to trace audio through this chassis, you know, just going through the throughput, and you might have even noticed a moment ago that it just kind of confounded me, and I couldn't account for it, okay? Because through an audio chassis, inputs to outputs, left is left is left is left, right is right is right is right, and this is just not behaving that way, and it's like, WTF? I mean, come on. So anyway, we're going to look at this, all right, because I think I know where the problem is, but these things can happen. And of course, the first inclination is to blame yourself. It's like, well, what did I screw up? Okay. But the first rule of engineering, okay, if something was working, operative verb being was, if something was working and it isn't anymore, you ask yourself one question: what's changed? So something changed. Of course, in this particular case, the change may have been at birth, okay? And I won't even go into all of the analogies about being swapped at birth, but this may qualify. I want you to see this. This is the actual cover of this chassis, okay? And I got another cover for another chassis right back there. It's identical. It's labeled the same way. You take my word for it. As a point of reference, the AC power is right here. Well, AC power is right here, which means that this would be output 2. And then the next one would be output 1. Right down here at the bottom, the inputs are 2, 1. So 1 would be on the very, very bottom, right against the edge, okay? So that's a pretty reliable map. I've got my scope probes here, and I'm going to put the probe on channel 1, right down there, channel 2 on channel 2. There's a technical term for that. Duh. Now, we'll take a look at the scope. I'm going to play tone. Sorry, producer. In fact, you want to skip past this part, I wouldn't be surprised, all right? But this is what kind of really pissed me off, all right? Because now that I've established channel 1 left all the way to at least the meters, now let's look at the output. Right channel, left channel up there. Left channel, right channel up there. the channels at the output are swapped because the input's good, the pot is correct, the meter is correct, but the output is swapped. Is it really? Well, let's take a look at that. All right, I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe it's something obvious. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do a signal trace through each of the stages through this amplifier to figure out where the swap has occurred. And I mean, I just got done recapping this thing. I mean, if something had actually been miswired, I mean, it would have popped out at me. It would have made itself known. But I did notice something rather interesting, okay? And I'm going to use my Mega 6R officially pointing tool, okay? Well, let me clean the soy sauce off this. I noticed that the cable for the channel 1 channel here is gray. Right there, channel 1 is gray, and the channel 2 wire is black. Now, it doesn't mean that if it's the wrong color, the electrons are going to go the wrong way. That's not what it means, but it means that somebody had the attention to detail to actually use different colors between channels, okay? I mean, they used red and white, okay? But, you know, a long, long time ago, things weren't in color, so they had gray and black. Something I noticed that kind of jumped out at me. Gray is on 2, black is on 1. But down here, black is on 2, gray is on 1. These are swapped. And you know what? Here's the thing that really gets me. It really doesn't look like it was an aftermarket modification. It looks like it came from the factory that way. I mean, dollars to donuts, that's original solder. So it's like, I mean, these cables seem to be pulled to length. I mean, they were cut. This black wire here is actually probably going to be shorter than the gray one. Going to lay this down, fire up the solder iron, wet my sponge, and get a cup of coffee, and we're going to go ahead and make the change on this. So let's see what other trouble we can get ourselves into. You know, we're going to cut them and swap them. There's just too much potential for damage in the close proximity of this. So the gray is going to go below and the black is going to go above. The gray wire cable jacket is attached to 2, but these center conductors up here have been swapped between channels. And that is going to solve the mystery of channel reversal. Rule number 17, okay? If you're smart, you can do it without being smart. This has been fun. And I'm going to go ahead and get this all flipped back over and everything like that, run another smoke test on it, make sure everything's cool. And just, you know, sit down, decompress, and enjoy it. Repairs, restoration. We've only got that much left to do, okay? It's fully operational, but now we get to do the alignment and calibration. And I'm going to have a special treat for you. At least I hope I'm not lying, okay? But I've designed a cabinet for this thing. Now, these were never intended to be in cabinets. They were supposed to, you know, back in those days, everybody installed stuff, okay? And everybody, you know, you had a blender in your kitchen. It was built into the countertop. I mean, people had hi-fi systems and they had, you know, a knockout or something where you could actually put a tape deck in there or a record changer on top or inside. You could basically building it yourself. It was all built in. Well, this is not going to get built in. I designed a cabinet for it. We're going to have somebody build it up for us, and we're going to bring that to you as soon as it's available. If you like what you've seen thus far, I know I do, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel because it helps let you know when episodes are dropping, and your comments, just keep them coming, and we'll keep them going. All right? Patreon subscribers, thank you so much for helping us out. It gives you access to uploaded documents. It gives you access to detailed, unedited, in a matter of speaking, episodes, okay? And merchandise, okay? Patreon subscribers get a hold of that, all right? In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.